Good morning, everyone. I am Maria Nicole Sinita Vitor, and I am going to talk about the intellectual property rights and the development and use of digital materials. So, intellectual property pertains to any original creation of the human intellectual, such as artistic, literacy, technical, or scientific creations. It is a category of property that includes intangible of human intellect. Intellectual property, according to World Intellectual Property Organization, it refers to creations of the mind such as interventions, literary devices in artistic works, designs and symbols, names and images used in commerce. Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines, this administers and implements state policies in relation to intellectual property. And next, let's talk about the Republic Act 8293. It defines intellectual property to include copyrights and related rights, trademarks and services marks, geographic indications, industrial designs, layout designs of integrated circuits, and protection of undisclosed information. So here are the types of intellectual property rights. First is the copyrights. It is use of performance of original works of literature, art, music, drama, or any form of expression. Next is the patent, the use, manufacture, or the sale of interventions. It provides property rights on autonomous inventions. Third is the trademarks, the use of symbols, words, names, pictures, designs, or combination thereof used by firms to identify products, brands, or services. Fourth is trade secrets, the privacy of data, documents, formulas, or anything that is to be maintained as confidential information. Any valuable information that is not publicly known and which the owner has taken reasonable steps to maintain secrecy. Copyrights refers to the legal rights given to the owner of the original work or intellectual property. These works are original intellectual creations in the literacy and artistic domain protected from the moment of their creation. So here are the guidelines on online use of copyrighted materials by Smaldino. First is contrary to popular opinion, all material on the internet is copyrighted unless stated otherwise. It is copyrighted even if does not display the copyright display. Second, an email is an original work, fixed in a tangible medium of expression that is covered by copyrighted. Hence, it is recommended that you should not forward any email without permission, in consideration of both Copyright and Privacy Act. Third, downloading an article from a newspaper's website, making copies and distributing them to your students prior to a class discussion on the topic is permissible following the current photocopying guidelines which permits making multiple copies for classroom use. Fourth, you cannot post students' essays, poems, or other works on the school website unless you have permission of the students and their parents or guardians rather. Fifth, educators should treat copyrighted materials from the internet that same way they do to point formats. Next is plagiarism. It is an act of fraud. It involves both stealing someone else's work and lying about it afterward. But can words and ideas really be stolen? According to U.S. law, the answer is yes. The expression of original ideas is considered intellectual property and is protected by copyrights law, just like original interventions. Almost all forms of expression fall under copyright protection if they are recorded in some way, such as books or a computer file. First, turning in someone else's work as your own. Second, copying words or ideas from someone else without giving credit. Third, failing to put a quotation in quotation mark. Fourth, giving incorrect information from the source of a quotation. Fifth, changing words but copying the sentence structure of a source without giving credit. And lastly, copying so many words or ideas from a source that it makes up most of your work, whether you give credit or not. Using an image, video, or piece of music in a work you have produced without receiving proper permission or providing appropriate citation is plagiarism. The following activities are very common today. Despite their popularity, they still count as plagiarism. So, copying media from other websites to paste them into your own papers or websites. Second, making video using footage from others' video or using copyrighted music as a part of their soundtrack. Third, performing another person's copyrighted music. Example, playing a cover. Fourth, composing a piece of music that borrows heavily from another compositions. Certainly, these media pose situations in which it can be challenging to determine whether the copyrights of a work are being violated. For example, a photograph or scan of a copyrighted image, recording audio or video in which copyrighted music or video is playing in the background. Next is recreating a visual work in the same medium. Next, recreating a visual work in a different medium. And lastly, remixing or altering copyrighted images, video, or audio, even if done so in an original way. The legality of these situations and others would be dependent upon the intent and context within which they are produced. The two safest approaches to take regarding these situations are: first, avoid them altogether, or second, confirm the work's usage permissions and cite them properly. So here are the summary. Here are some pointers to remember. Digital citizenship is an idea that all persons using the internet have civic rights and responsibilities. A netizen is a participant of online community and who uses the internet in responsible way. What is needed is people will advocate and demonstrate the kind of self-governance that will keep us safe from harm both online and offline. Online ethics focus on the acceptable use of online resources in an online social environment. We all create a digital tattoo and we leave digital footprints. Intellectual property pertains to any original creations of the human intellect, such as artistic, literacy, technical, or scientific creations. So thank you for listening. I hope na nasabtan ang tanan. Thank you and God bless.